you get knee pain when squatting, all I'm going to show you today is time to stop blaming the knees and start looking elsewhere. What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com, a midweek video. What do you know, right? This is sort of an idea I had in my mind for quite some time was, what if we started to put out a couple more videos? What if we did 2 a week? Now, if you guys like that idea, let me know below and even drop some of the ideas that you'd like to see, and maybe we'll start making some of those videos. That being said, I thought today was a great chance to talk about a real common issue. Put on my physical therapy hat and talk about something that I see come in front of me all the time. Almost 90% of the time with athletes that I train is knee pain. Hardly anybody can get through leg workouts without having some sort of knee pain. But the big factor here is, what are you blaming it on? Most guys will say, I have bad knees. The fact of the matter is, the knee joint itself is sort of what I call a consequential joint. Meaning, it's a joint that's stuck in the middle of the ankle and the hip and has to deal with the consequences that those two joints can do to F it up. Okay? That's the fact of the matter. Is it's really, there's another analogy of a train on a track. The knee sits in the middle of the train track, and it just sort of, if the track is messed up, the track is messed up because the ankle's moving it or the hip is moving it out of whack. So when we squat, one of the problems I think most guys have is a big issue up here in the hip. Not having the right mechanics of the hip in order to stabilize and allow the knees to track in line the way they should. So my best tip when you're doing the squat to fix knee pain, almost instantly, you'll see if you do this tip, you'll do a squat regular, you'll feel knee pain. You do a squat with this, you should feel the pain significantly go away, if not totally. You got to get under the bar and start by getting your elbows pointed downward. What this does is it sort of acts to stabilize the mid-back, which will set up and make it easier to stabilize the low back. Right? We're dealing with a kinetic chain here. So by digging the elbows down and into our sides, we have already stabilized the upper back, mid-back. The tip is, at the time that it comes to going to your descent, you're going to pull down into the descent. You're going to actively contract your hip flexor, your psoas muscle, to get you down into that. So what does that mean? Before you do a rep, if you were to push up here on your hand, you're going to feel as if you got the resistance. You know what the activation of the psoas feels like. You're going to try to recreate that. So not only by pulling down with the hip flexors are you going to stabilize the hips, but you're also going to get other muscles out of it. So let me demonstrate what I'm talking about. If I get under here, okay, the first thing I do is dig my elbows down into my sides. Okay, head is up, elbows dug down, and here, and then I'm going to go and pull myself actively downward into the squat. So I activate the hip flexors down, and then I come back up. Okay, I squeeze them down, and I come up. Okay, again, down and up. So what I'm demonstrating here is that active contraction, what it does is it gets the leg firing the way it should. The knee can track where it has to, and we don't involve and get muscles like the tensor fascia and all these other muscles on the outside of the thigh to kick in artificially, which is what's going to happen if your hip isn't stabilized, because it's got to get the stability somewhere. The problem is the TFL is going to come in and pull the knee out of whack, not in the direction it means to stay. So the second benefit, when you actively pull down, think about yourself as loading a spring. When you pull down, you're loading that spring so that it can unload and actually help to propel you out of the bottom position of the squat. So you're actively loading the spring. Have that concept in your mind too. Load the spring, come out of it. One final tip, if you have a hard time feeling the sensation of pulling down, you want to set up a couple bands in the squat rack, reach up here, and grab them, okay, up high, grab them up high. Now, in order to get down into the squat, I'm going to have to actively pull. So I pull the bands down with the hip flexor contraction. Pull, down, pull, down, pull, down. by pulling down into the hip flexors, I push my butt out behind me. I get the knees from tracking too far over the toes, and I stabilize the back because the hip flexor psoas attaches back here in the lower back. As soon as you contract it, it stabilizes all the lumbar segments here so that I'm in a good position to go. So guys, start trying this. Put this into action. Do it without a bar. Go there if you have knee pain. Do your traditional squat. Then try to actively contract as you go down right here through the hip flexors. If you want to see what that feels like, try the band or just hold your leg up and actively contract your hip up to see what that contraction feels like so you can reproduce it when you get under the bar. Guys, like I said, if you like, especially if you like some of these more, we call them the nerdy videos, but it's the PT application of strength. Here, putting the science back in strength. If you like this, let us know. Tell us some of the other issues you want to see us cover, and I'll start cranking out 2 videos in a week. So, guys, if you haven't already and you want to start training smarter and harder, head over to ATHLEAN-X.com and grab the 90-day training program. It's not just strength training, guys. It's strength training with a purpose, and it's strength training with some science behind what we do. So I will see you guys this week. Got another video coming up, and I will see you guys on Team Athlean. See you guys back here in just a couple days.